Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the wet they mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.
Welcome to this week in white supremacy.
I think I have a little
peace and love. What's going on, Miracle? What happened?
Huh?
You said something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, did your name go away? Where did your name go? Oh, there we go, twin. I like the other name.
Me too, but she hesitated.
No, I just want you to give the people what you originally planned for them to see.
Speaking of original plans and original man, what's today's mathematics, brother?
You know what? I really wasn't. I didn't know that today's mathematics. What is it like? What's one represent? What is
knowledge?
Knowledge and then what's 19?
Born.
Is that
knowledge? Today's born? Knowledge born.
Knowledge born.
Today's mathematics is knowledge born.
Okay, dog. Well, we are birthing some knowledge in this show.
Let's build, bro.
You know what I'm saying? This week in white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm Jasiri X. I am co-founder, CEO of One Hood. I got my brother, my supreme Asiatic in disguise brother and twin. I don't know. Does that mean that you're also a supreme Asiatic in disguise, Miracle? Or
no? Because remember, I'm here for the people. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna start it again.
What are you gonna say? Say it.
What people? I'm lost. You're here for the people?
I'm here for the people.
Okay, you're here for the people, right? Yes. And my brother, you know, he's not gonna play the keys for us today, but you know, what
that was an accident. I was trying to unmute myself. But yep, it's Treble NLS. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play the keys. They're just here for practice, you know. Whenever I'm just over here chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? Because it's been a lot of conversation. You know, Stevie Wonder came through with the voting right. It's been a lot of conversation. I guess we could. What, you don't like Stevie Wonder, Miracle? What you? Stevie Wonder said, "Stop the bullshit. Give me my voting rights."
You know, sometimes when you forget, like you on camera and people can see you.
That's how we twins, because our facial expressions give everything away.
I was like, "Damn, Stevie Wonder."
Like,
What Stevie do besides?
You know what's oppressive right now is that I blend in with this.
Oh, the yellow you blend in.
Yeah, man.
Well, that is why the number 2 represents you. The words.
Asiatic, yeah.
Because you were like, I'm gonna represent today, fight back.
You know, yeah.
Okay.
The Afro-Asiatic, you know, Afro-Semitic.
And plus, if you blend in, it's easier to be in disguise. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I thought y'all remember the rhyme, and I was really
Come on now, yeah.
Do it.
What rhyme?
Supreme Asiatic. And is that your next album? Is that your follow-up album to the album you about to drop?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of hot. Like I just came up with this on the fly today, man. Supreme Asiatic in the sky. That shit kind of hot. That shit kind of hot.
Miracle said you got a notebook with like 50 different takes on.
Yo, hold on. What was your very, very first rap name?
Oh man, my very first, I want to say it was Pure Knowledge.
Pure Knowledge. Okay.
Pure Knowledge was my very first rap. It was mad corny.
Terrible. I got one worse than that.
Treble, what was your first rap name, man?
I was hoping y'all wouldn't ask me directly. My first rap name was Young Breeze because I was just cool like a breeze. You know
Young Breeze. All right, that ain't bad. Young Breeze.
I wasn't really fucking with it after a while though.
I also feel like you were born with a rap name personally, but I'm not gonna put your government out.
I can't use it though because someone else already got it, so it had to be original. You know what I'm saying?
You was born with a rap name. I ain't gonna put your government out there.
You're one of those fortunate ones that got one of those like super ill with just like giving names, bro.
Yes.
But I appreciate that.
My first rap name was awful. It was Lex the Icon, like lexicon. Yeah,
you was a big word, nigga. I was like,
for a second, like,
yeah, it was like, I
I was like, where did you get Lex from? Your name ain't Lex.
Yeah, I was in like grade
lexicon.
8. Yeah, lexicon, like
God.
Lex the icon.
You was a big word nigga since birth, huh?
From early, bro. From early.
You ain't supposed to know. People don't know what lexicon mean right now. You need to know what lexicon mean in 8th grade. So if we want to let's hop in because we do have.
What made you change? What made you pick that?
I was at a verbose lexicon.
Yeah, he just, he was just.
Man got words in that.
That is weird though. That is some nerd. That is some big head nerd shit.
It is, yeah.
From the gate.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? That is weird.
1,000%.
So you chose that, or like people used to call you like?
No. I chose that.
He chose that.
Well, everybody called me Jack. Everybody called me.
Somebody said for somebody that can't read those in big. Oh, that's a good one. Well, let's get into it. Did y'all do anything? I don't know. Did y'all? I don't know. Y'all having a conversation, Miracle?
I'm sorry. We be having sidebar conversations. I apologize.
Yeah, there is a mute button, y'all.
Ooh,
I can't.
Just saying.
What, niggas love silence? Is that what you're trying to say?
You feel me?
No.
Silence never did me wrong.
Wow.
Niggas love shame. That's what it is. They love pettiness, man.
Did y'all do anything special for Dr. King, Martin Luther King Day? Did y'all do anything?
So apparently I went viral on Instagram because
what happened? Oh yeah, your shit was definitely getting shared.
That shit got out of control.
Really? You post that every year.
I post it every year. It got like 3,000 shares, man. My inbox was hurting.
Wow.
I almost deleted the app. I was like, I can't do it.
Wow. You gotta send that picture to John so we can put that up so people can see what you were talking about. Okay, so you went viral with the picture is of a black person. I guess the black man is like the slave master, right? Yeah. Making white people pick cotton with like Dr. King's face in the horizon. Like smiling, like he's in approval of that. Did you do anything Martin Luther King Day, Treble? Special?
I don't know if it's special. I just relaxed. You feel me?
Yeah. Dr.
Just
King would have wanted you to. Yeah,
you
he want you to rest. Did you do anything? Miracle Twin?
I feel like I did something, but I can't remember. I was working. Yes, I worked.
Yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I told Celeste she's gonna have to like log us out of our computer emails.
I'll be working
in order for us to not to work. But because our feckless government has once again abandoned us, we have to use MLK Day to do work because the family said no celebration without legislation. So that just meant we had to work on Monday.
Right, and it was kind of this perfect storm of like the fact that we're still, trying to get voting rights. You have like a whole bunch of black people. Like I think I saw somewhere 25 black pastors are like fasting to go along with it. It's like an elderly brother who's on like day 70 of fasting. And you got really this push for voting rights because particularly black people, the black and brown folks who put this current Democratic administration in power are the ones whose voting rights to get taken away. And then, of course, with Dr. King Day, you had all of these people. Of course, every politician, everybody has to put a Dr. King quote up there. For whatever reason, the FBI feels the need to talk about Dr. King every Dr. King Day. I don't know why. I mean, I'd be cool if y'all sat it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, given your history with Dr. King, I mean, it's cool to like, it's cool to just like set that out. But, the main focus was on Joe Manchin of West Virginia and what's the woman? Cinema. Is that right? Cinema of Arizona, and the fact that they still, despite Joe Biden's tough talk, right? He went to Atlanta. He had Kamala with him. They was talking tough. He was saying, are you going to be on the side of King or be on the side of George Wallace? And they was like, we going to be on the side of this white supremacy. We're not going to eliminate the filibuster. It looks like voting rights are dead. People are saying, man, you want to put your picture up? We got Farouk's viral post, his post that went viral for Dr. King Day. This is, oh shit. They was
waiting for it. They was waiting for it.
The express views of Farouk's Instagram are not the same views.
Represents the King family or one of the media.
The King family, one of the media.
But it's just these people these politicians, they love turning the other cheek to MLK's ideology.
Yes.
Like they really do.
I have a dream. They love, we're all the same, equal, my children and your children are gonna be kicking it together. But Dr. King also,
as long as they can't vote. As long as they can't vote.
It's really about like what they, there was like, and I don't want to necessarily say there was two Dr. Kings, but it's like they take Dr. King, they make the Dr. King like so like non-threatening,
whitewashed.
Yeah, because he's not threatening the power of white supremacy, right? Although Dr. King challenged the power of white supremacy, he talked about capitalism, he talked about colonialism, he talked about militarism, you know what I'm saying? He talked about, poor people coming together, you know what I'm saying? He talked about white moderates being the worst, and people are looking at Manchin and Sinema as these white moderates. And so what was your reaction to Dr. King Day almost being this day that we saw Voting Rights Act pretty much, it looks like it's dead now, and once again Biden and Kamala failed, or the Democratic Party as a whole failed to deliver like one of the basic things that we're asking them to do? How do y'all feel? You want to just put that picture back up?
That's it. I mean, what I don't really comprehend, I guess, about the voting rights portion of it is, how come, before I say anything wild,
you gonna say something smart about my shoes?
I wasn't gonna say anything about your sneakers, your boots.
Those are boots.
I wasn't gonna say anything about them. Clearly, them boots is made for walking, and that's just what they do. Okay. No, but really and truly though, what I don't really understand about the thing is, it's like how these politicians in good conscience can just sit here and quote Dr. King on Martin Luther King Day and then do the exact opposite shit. Like do the just complete opposite shit. Senator Manny Diaz in Florida, who was doing this, whole protect whites against, the fucking
You had the governor of Texas who basically just passed a law so they don't have to teach about Martin Luther King in the school. Like the law says, no, you don't got to teach about Dr. King, quoting Dr. King, how great he is. I mean, so what should we do? What can we do? Miracle, what's up? What are we doing now? Looking like voting rights is dead. It's looking like the Democrats is on their way out. It's looking like,
I'm never voting again.
Push forward.
It's looking like BIG is like,
no.
He's leveling up. He's leveling up. So what do we do? What do we do, Miracle?
If I swear to God, if he comes out with a promo talking about I'm Big T the homie, I'm gonna be like, Jasiri did.
What if he come out with?
You know what? If he doesn't, Miracle, like, because remember, just look at the brother Gary Chambers, whose video just went viral, right? A politician, he's smoking a blunt. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about people getting arrested for marijuana convictions. I mean, that went viral. If he came out of like, yo, I'm Big T, that would be, oh my God.
I mean, he's a marketing person.
He's
a marketing
giving
person.
Him.
I'm sorry. So I didn't give him that name. I think it's funny, but you are right, Miracle. It's funny up until he gets another presidency and takes everybody's rights away. Because
it's not about him getting another presidency. It's why y'all keep calling this man Big T like he's a big homie.
You know what we should call him? ASAP Trump.
I hate y'all so much.
Well, I don't get it. Why?
Because he bailed out ASAP Rocky.
No, he didn't. Remember they called and ASAP.
He's ASAP Trump.
No,
ASAP Trump.
So Miracle, before we got sidetracked, you were telling us, like, what do we do now? Do we just, is it time to just abandon the Democrats, try to start our own thing? Are we going with, what's Puff's party called? Wasn't it the Block Party or some shit? Like, what are we doing?
Who did that? Puff?
P. Diddy.
I think, yeah.
No. Where we're going is we still need to demand that our Senate has a vote. While the filibuster may not happen, the Senate still needs to vote on the bill, and we need people positioned to be on the record. And we need everyone to vote. And so whether or not they think they have the votes, Chuck Schumer should call the Senate, have the committee pull it up, and let's get people's votes on the record so we know where they do and do not stand. At the end of the day, as we look at
No, he just come on now. He just getting some Dr. King.
Don't sit there and co-sign his microaggressions against me. As we see in Virginia, election has consequences. You know, right. the governor of Virginia, he fired the parole board on it. They fired the parole board. They fired the people that were looking at people's arrests to make sure that they didn't need to be expunged, and they even fired the integrity conviction unit. So we as Black and brown people don't have the luxury of not voting, don't have the luxury of sitting out votes. We sometimes don't even have the luxury of protest voting because the people who win will do things that will directly harm us exponentially at a faster rate. So what I say, people, as we've been seeing specifically in the 24th and the 19th, run. Everybody and your mama, run for office, galvanize the base, give people something to vote for. Don't let these establishment places and these establishment politicians dictate our future. If they're not going to take up and fight and vote for you, then they need to be replaced. So that is what I would say. Of course, you have mutual aid and community support and community engagement, but that is what I would say about the issue.
Right. And I think you make a great point. Right. He also, the governor of Virginia, also took away all the mask mandates. That's one of the first things he did was like, go on with your, no vaccine mandates, no mask mandates, go do your thing. I want to come to you, Treble, because, you represent kind of like the younger demographic you're watching. I mean, it seemed like it was a lot of, joy. And it wasn't that we were necessarily celebrating Trump. I mean, celebrating Biden and Kamala Harris winning. We're more so celebrating Trump losing. But, 2 years later, here's, you can't even protect my voting rights. Like, how does it make you feel as like somebody that's young, recently participating in the electoral process?
So for me, it points out how hollow these days are, right? When they give us days like Juneteenth, Martin Luther King Day, Black History Month, it's like I don't get excited when that shit happens anymore, because it's like, look, on Martin Luther King Day, you're not doing anything about voting rights. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to give us these symbols like everything all peace and kumbaya, but then when it comes to the work that you're actually doing, you're showing us exactly what sides you stand on, which is I want to make sure that less people have the power to vote, so that I can control the ship and make sure that me and my people get in, our jobs are safe, and we ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that did happen too on Dr. King's Day, although the video was from the 2020, this video came out with Joe Biden saying that he felt that George Floyd's death resonated around the world more than the death of Martin Luther King. Of course, the right wing kind of ran with that. You know what I'm saying? I guess for me, it's like another, like, I know that they, and I don't know if this is true or not. They said something to the effect that like Biden has held like the least amount of press conference. Whatever that number is, he should hold less. Like he should just not say anything. But what do you all think about, him saying, like, do y'all agree with it? Is it just certain things Biden shouldn't talk about? How do y'all feel about that?
I was thinking about this earlier. We need to stop making it seem like George Floyd was a martyr, like he was murdered.
Right.
Like, don't turn him into a martyr, man. Like this brother could have just been alive, minding his business on a
minding his business. We wouldn't even know who he was, but he'd be alive and doing his thing.
That's it. Like, stop trying to give him martyrdom. Like, was it a tragedy? Did it bring all this change, everything? Yes, but and this is no disrespect. Not change, awareness. Awareness is the word I'm looking for.
Awareness, yes.
Not change. I'm sorry. But like, and this is no disrespect to him, the legacy of the family is, George Floyd, he wasn't Malcolm X. So stop trying to make it seem like his brother, he was just a regular human being trying to live. So for Joe Biden to sit here and try to weigh Black death on a scale.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Yeah, you make a great point. But that's what it became, right? Because, Nancy Pelosi, remember, when the officer was found guilty, she kind of went out there and said something similar to the fact that
Nancy Pelosi took it upon herself to put on the Lion King outfit, take a knee, right? and start.
She's like, what else? What else do black folk do? Like she's gonna break out like a bottle of hot sauce.
We shall overcome with some shit. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Like we didn't need that.
And it goes to what Treble said. All that symbolism. Like we're not asking you to. How about pass some laws? How about pass the George Floyd Policing Act? How about pass the the John Lewis Voting Rights Act? Yeah, do something
actionable. Right?
Yeah, something that actually will affect my life.
Nah, you gonna get this kente cloth, you gonna get these Negro spirituals, and you're gonna get these Instagram quotes every year.
We're gonna get these black Instagram boxes. But no, I think you make a great point, right? George Floyd was not trying to be a martyr. He was not out there protesting. He was literally just living his life until this murdering cop put his knee on his neck, you know what I'm saying? So it was more so the video and all of that happened. But yeah, trying to compare George Floyd, it's like it's not even necessary. But then you also had, Vice President Harris also kind of went viral, with the clip.
The Miracle's face. I'm glad she was like, she just looked at the floor.
With the
she made a conceited meme. She was like,
so Vice President Harris, for those, and I meant to, I have a video of it. I don't know. We have to find out.
Please play that shit.
I don't know actually where the actual part of the video. So I'm gonna throw this to you, John. If you could find out the point where she actually talks about, but basically, it was a black reporter who was kind of holding her to task and administration to task about the follow-up to COVID, right? It was a couple months ago where somebody asked, who's the press secretary? Somebody asked the press secretary, like, why don't you send everybody masks? And she was like, we can't do that. And then that kind of went viral. And then now they're trying to send everybody masks. But basically, remember, Joe Biden was on record saying, Trump, we're 2 years into this pandemic. Why haven't you done blah, 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 blah. So 2 years into your presidency during the pandemic, we haven't got masks. I guess we're just getting tests maybe now. You know what I'm saying? And so when Kamala Harris, the vice president, was pressed on why can't people get testing? Why can't people find these things? She basically was like, well, you just got to do your Googles, my nigga. Like,
do your Googles.
Do your Googles. And, it's interesting because it seems like, and that's what's funny. It's like, it seems like on one hand, Joe Biden, it's like he gets confused or he's not good at talking. And then it seems like anytime Vice President Harris gets on, it's like she's so annoyed, like at any type of critique of this administration, that it becomes like really condescending how she speaks. So what is y'all comment to, oh, you need a test? Google that, nigga. And she basically said, you like a restaurant? You Google that, you find out what a restaurant. Why don't you Google to get your COVID test?
One shout out to was it Fredo Star?
Fredo Star.
Fredo Star.
Is that who said do your Googles?
Do your Googles. But I think that it really just shows the lack of a disconnect between the administration and people. I forgot the individual's name who actually pointed out that 40% of people who identified as disabled don't even have steady access to the internet. So it's not a simple thing about doing your Googles. It's also about the lack of infrastructure and ingenuity and innovation from this administration. I have always encouraged people to talk about like what France and especially South Korea and Australia and New Zealand, who literally have been doing this stuff from the very beginning. I believe it was like South Korea. Not only do they send you like masks and tests, but as soon as you are test positive, they also send you groceries.
Because they didn't want you to go outside. They don't want you to. They want you to stay inside so the COVID doesn't spread. It's like it's science, right?
Like at this point, the CDC's like drink your ginger ale and spray your Windex and call it a day. And it's like
ginger bold, Canada Dry bold.
No, they don't. They're not even that like uppity.
No,
they're just
not.
Like do what you gotta do to get back to work.
They're telling people to drink Schweppes.
They're like just do what you do to get back to work, and it's very problematic because we're looking really at eugenics, and we don't talk about this enough, but that's what we're looking at with this pandemic, to sit there and say that people who are disabled, people who have comorbidities, people who specifically have, who are elderly, they're basically disposable. You got to remember at the very beginning of the pandemic, it was like, if you're elderly and you die, you die. And now we're just like, hey, if you die, you know, it sucks to suck, but it just must be your turn. And we're also seeing a rise of people being subjected to misinformation and disinformation, and they're also now dying. And so we're just really watching this government fail us in every single aspect. And it's been wild. It's year 3, right? It's like the 3rd year of going into this pandemic, and we don't even have the basic necessities. We don't even have health care insurance for everyone, and we're just like fumbling to get along.
This is like the Oregon Trail. Remember that? Remember oh damn, Calvin got dysentery. Gotta leave him.
It is pretty wild, and I think you said it right when you talk about eugenics, because the CDC director was saying, oh, the people are dying are people that had like 4 morbidities, and if you don't have 4 comorbidities, you're okay. And just like you said,
I don't even know what that is. What are you saying?
Comorbidities or morbidities are indicators that you could have a fatal illness. So if you are overweight, if you have certain diseases, if you have like a history of smoking, if you have like alcoholism. So for me, I'm overweight, I have asthma, so it's like 2 comorbidities, that I have. So I'm not necessarily at the 4th threshold while teetering on it. And so it's just like the indicators that you have of illness and disease.
I see. Okay.
But it's this thing of like, well, oh, so you're weak. Like if you die, it was like, oh, you were already unhealthy. Like this idea that like,
it's like the Hunger Games.
100%. Right. Oh, so and it's really
May the
like
odds
it's
ever
almost
be in your favor.
Yeah, and it's almost like the idea of like, like you said, and it's how people are treating it, right? Even that, the lady from Fox News, Laura Ingraham, they were like have a segment where they laugh at people that are Democrats or in this administration that get COVID. Like, oh, he's vaccinated, he got COVID. Let's laugh at him. And it's like this idea of like, wow, like somehow,
but weren't there a whole
and if you die, you're like, it was your fault.
But I mean, did they have the same, they have the same energy for all the Republicans that have died?
No, absolutely not. No energy for, what was it, Herman Cain? None
Herman Cain, like, all these police officers and these teachers who are anti-maskers that are just dying from COVID. There was a Pittsburgh police officer that died from COVID earlier this year who was an anti-masker. You had Republican candidates, elected officials who were donating money from their election campaigns to get awareness to their constituency would be vaccinated or at least wear masks at the very minimum because they were dying. So it's like, yo, like when did it just become funny to like,
right? Or they're talking about Farouk, they're not even going to post the death numbers anymore. Like it's almost like people don't care. So I want to play this video and then I want to come to you, Treble. I guess because we have the Vice President Kamala Harris video. If we could throw that up, John, and we can kind of comment on this.
Do your Googles, nigga. If she would have said that, I'd at least be able to fuck with it. If she was like,
but I think it's the thing of like, you can't even like, why are you questioning us? And it's kind of that, it reminds me of that, what would Joe Biden say? Oh, if you questioning us, you ain't black, like this idea. But let's go ahead, play it, John. Go ahead.
For comparison,
it's not just Republican opposition. It would seem as if this piece of legislation is going to come down to 1 or 2 moderate Democrats. In months and weeks, the administration hasn't been able to convince 1 or 2 senators to come around. How are you going to do that in 2 or 3 days?
If I may, I'd like to contextualize this conversation,
she said, per my last email,
in this very town of Washington, D.C., up the street at the United States Capitol, in the United States Senate.
This is I don't get paid enough.
98 of the 100 members of the United States Senate voted in favor of an extension of the Voting Rights Act. It was not a partisan issue. It was an American issue.
But Madam Vice President, how are you going to get it done?
Well, when we have the discussion about who's responsible, I will not absolve the 50 Republicans in the United States Senate from responsibility.
We talking about you,
one
though.
of the most
Yes,
basic
exactly.
and important tenets
You're
of our
in
democracy,
charge.
which is free and fair elections and access to the ballot for all eligible voters.
What about Senator Manchin? What about Senator Sinema?
I don't think anyone should be absolved from the responsibility of preserving and protecting our democracy, especially when they took an oath to protect and defend our Constitution.
Why has the administration not been able to get Senate Democrats on board?
We are not giving up.
I was questioning.
Why has it taken
But
this
you're
long?
acting as though it's over.
Well, I mean,
It's not over.
So it's going to happen.
Who is this brother? Because
I'm
this brother
saying
is
it's not
on
over.
fire right
And
now.
I like
We
the
don't
fact
give
that he
up.
got the blue socks with
We
the
don't
green
give up and we
tie.
will
Like, I
not give
see
up.
you, bro.
He have
Are we
fashion.
going to see the same Democratic ticket in 2024?
I'm sorry, we are thinking about today. I mean, honestly,
That was a hell no.
I know why you're
That-
asking the question, because this is the part of the
Look at
punditry
him.
and
He
the
already
gossip
knows.
around
Give this
places
nigga
like
a
Washington,
bro.
D.C. Let
This
me just
brother
tell you
know he's
something.
never getting
We're
another
focused on
interview.
the
He's like,
things
I'm
in front
getting
of
all
us.
out right now.
We're focused on what we need to do
That was all the
to
question.
address issues like affordable childcare, what we need to do to
So
ensure
there have been no
that-
conversations about 2024.
There ain't gonna be no more conversation
There's
with
no-
you,
there's
my
no-
nigga.
people
there's
sent
no
us to do a
conversation.
job. And right now, there's a lot of work to be done, and that's my focus.
It sounds
Sincerely.
like you're at least familiar with some of the punditry. I don't know if you've heard that there's been some talk about a Biden Cheney ticket perhaps in 2024. Did you read that article?
I did not.
Basically, he's like, we know you're getting fired.
Yeah.
Care less
Use this platform
about
to
the
call
high-class
everyone
gossip
Hey, yo,
out.
on
pause
these
it
issues.
right there. Pause it right there. Who do you think? I mean, this is the thing that it's mind blowing, and I really want to come to you, Miracle, and then I'm gonna come to you, Trouble. Cheney, Biden,
Cheney.
like
Dick
is
Cheney?
that? I mean, if you
Nothing
want, I
hard.
mean,
Oh,
you might as well
Megan?
just say. You might as well say, check this out. That ticket might as well be called Black people. We don't want you to vote at all. Biden, Cheney. That's what you're going to try to get. You want me to go out and campaign for Biden and Cheney?
Let me tell
Man,
you.
I'm going to space. Fuck these niggas.
Bro, you got one. Your first convert.
What the hell?
Fuck these niggas. We should all go to space.
What?
We know the DNC really don't like Black people. You know,
God.
we're just here trying to so we don't die, to be honest. Like, we're literally just like trying to do everything we can to survive, and it's going to be a hot mess. But you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun couple of years. But what they're referencing is ever since really Kamala took on the vice presidency, if you compare her to even when Joe was the vice president, the administration has really not allowed her to take on any initiatives. She hasn't been presiding a lot over the Senate. She hasn't been in DC roping in votes. She's been traveling here and there. And there has been rumors since the very beginning that this administration hasn't been working with her and is trying to replace her.
I mean,
like
dude,
that comment,
straight
please.
up asked her.
And that's what it's about. And I think it's very problematic. And we keep saying again, these administrations really do not like Black people, and the fact that they have to do something, because at the end of the day, if you can vote to create bombs to drop in Black and brown countries, if you can vote to give money to police so they can harm Black and brown people, the very least you could do is make sure that Black people don't have to stand in line 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours
without
to vote,
food or water.
without food, water, access to
yeah.
bathrooms, and it's just
crazy.
egregious and outrageous.
It's outrageous. So we, you know, not to put your business out there, Treble, but you did recently have COVID. I don't know if you necessarily got treatment for it, but from what I'm told, Treble, you would get treatment because you're Black. Did you feel like that was the case when you got your COVID treatment, my brother?
Honestly, I stayed away from the hospitals. I was just chilling at the crib, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't Google nothing? You didn't Google no information?
No. I actually
you thugged it out?
Yeah, so I thugged it out, but I also hit up this doctor and was like, listen, bro, I'm at the crib.
Was it a witch doctor?
No,
brother. Come on,
it was
man.
a homeopathic doctor. And
I was like, no,
a witch doctor.
You hit up Aaron Rodgers.
A witch doctor.
And I was like, listen. I was like, I need some nutrients. I haven't been able to keep food down. I'm like, what can I do? What are some alternatives?
They said ginger ale, nigga.
I was drinking this nasty ass vegetable broth. Shout out to Miracle. I appreciate you so much still. And it definitely helped me bounce back, at least appetite wise, right?
Okay, got you.
I was just like, listen, this is my body telling me to rest. I'm gonna just chill, you know. I'm gonna sweat it out. I'm gonna throw up, do what I gotta do. You feel me? And let my body do what it needs to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, apparently there is I don't know if you knew this. There is a rapper that is also running for president. I don't want to say his rap name because I don't want to make anybody upset on the show.
Is it ASAP Trump?
He did a speech in which he said that there were white people who were being discriminated against. Now, I don't know. I know there's some white people that watch us. I don't know, white folks. Maybe you can tell us this, but he was saying that he got some information that white people were discriminated against when it comes to getting COVID vaccines, even though I thought y'all ain't want COVID vaccines. I don't know, but this is the unnamed rapper. If we want to put him up, you know what I mean, on the screen.
I don't know why y'all do this to me. I feel like
he about to drop. Listen, his compilation is gonna be wild, bro. Big Meech.
The left is now rationing life-saving therapeutics based on race,
for Trump,
discriminating against
2020
and denigrating denigrating white people to determine who lives and who dies.
Had double X white, Black for Trump.
You don't get the vaccine, or if you're white, you don't get therapeutics. It's unbelievable to think this, and nobody wants this. Black people don't want it. White people don't want it. Nobody wants it.
Only black people getting it. I don't get it.
It's not even believable. You saw this a week ago where it came out. Nobody can even believe it. They don't even talk about it, and they don't want to talk about it because they know it doesn't work very well for them. But the Wall Street Journal described the practice race-based preferential COVID treatments, and that's what it is. You get it based on race. In fact, in New York State, if you're white, you have to go to the back of the line to get medical help. Think of it. If you're white, you go right to the back of the line.
Not reverse racism.
This is why I hate when white people, well, and I say white people, I hate when allies who really do not understand the context for which they are discussing talk about race and race-based initiatives, because they always just fuck it up. Like just completely fuck it up. What they're talking about is in New York that when they looked at the vaccine clinics as well as the COVID clinics, they said not where the blacks are. They said, where are the pockets in the population that are being impacted by COVID-19 the most? And that is where we're going to place the interventions for COVID-19 the most. It just happens to be that more Black and brown people are impacted by COVID-19 because of their jobs and their employment and the lack of infrastructure in their communities. So therefore, they're able to get they are getting COVID-19 and dying of COVID-19 at a disproportionate rate. That does not mean that white people do not have vaccines. That does not mean these same facilities do not accept white people. And that does not mean that any of these doctors deny treatments to white people. The guy got mad. One of these elected officials got mad that a poor Black district had more COVID-19 vaccination spots than his district and threw a fit. It was not correctly explained. And once again, just like the diversity report that CNN put out about white people no longer being the majority, it has not been communicated correctly. So now idiots like Trump can sit there and say white people are being discriminated against. They are not.
And apparently it was one of them fake viral videos where some white dude went and was told he was denied treatment, but he didn't have the actual disease to the level where you got the certain treatment. So it had nothing to do with his right. But I think once again, it's like, we already know, we see what Trump is going to be. This is weird to me. Like, how you going to be what you don't want the vaccine? You don't like, but then be mad if a Black person goes like you don't want it anyway. So like, why should you be worried about who gets it first if you don't want the vaccine and you don't want any medical treatment to begin with?
It's just like when white people tell us we can't say the N-word.
But it's funny because people don't want the vaccine, but they want the monoclonal. I already say it wrong.
Oh yeah,
monoclonal treatment, but it's the same pharmaceutical companies doing both treatments. Mm-hmm. So it's just like I don't get the disconnect. But also, it's like this idea that you feel that just based on your identity, you should have access to medical treatment that you don't qualify for. And if you don't get it, somebody is discriminating against you, not about the fact that like they have already said you really need to be next to death's door to get some of these treatments. And they've already talked about it. And it was really infuriating that all of this, that like we're like our medical system's on the brink of collapse because all of these idiots like want to go viral and grift and do stuff when reality is we could have just stayed home for 2 weeks.
Could have just stayed home. And not to mention, remember, Black people couldn't even put like the vaccine clinics in the hood on Facebook because all the white people was coming in the hood, taking all the shots. You know what I'm saying? Coming on the indigenous land, taking all the shots. You said it's like white people using the N-word. What did you mean, Fruit?
No, like, white people saying, oh, okay, well, we don't want the vaccine, but we're upset that Black people are having it. It's just like white people saying, oh, yeah, well, I can't say the N-word, but neither should you. Like,
I'm oppressed. Yes.
I'm oppressed. Like, fuck out of here with all that shit. That was something that was interesting to me, just thinking about it, because my father is close to 70, overweight, smoker. He had to wait for the vaccine because all the white people in the suburbs went to the Black areas, right, to get this vaccine. So my dad out here is like it's super high risk. What is he? He got all the morbidities. Comorbidities. Yeah. My dad got all four of them. He overweight, he smoked, he old, and he Black. So he, you know what I mean? Like, so my dad gets COVID, it's donezo for him. I guess it's time to go, right? But this misinformation portion of it, and just like the inability to read the actual detail, just like white people don't really read the Birmingham jail letter, they just skim over to the part of
sincerely Dr. King,
sincerely Dr. King, and it's your job to not to follow unjust laws or whatever. That's the only part that they go to.
Love will cast out evil can't cast out evil, only love can. That's one of
the without power without justice is anemic, and you know what I mean, is whatever. Like they totally miss all that shit. But you know what Big T is saying with all the blacks with all the Black for Trump behind him is Big T is telling us to go to space.
I just offered a job today. So I'm gonna need y'all.
She did get offered a job.
Right.
I was there. I was offended too. I was like, hey, brother.
Who was it?
Step back, sir.
Keep playing.
Step back, sir.
Miracle.
Nobody wants your boring job, sir. Okay, your job's boring.
Keep playing.
Hey.
Stop calling that man Big T.
But I think like
because he's gonna get those people. He's gonna have a whole rap song.
Oh no,
it's definitely gonna blame both of y'all.
And it's gonna Kodak Black, Lil Wayne. They already it's gonna be a banger.
And Kanye's gonna produce. Like I listen to that record. I've been saying it. God. Wait, and let ASAP come on there. Let Lord Pretty fuck on.
I don't think ASAP gonna be on there. But so let's
let me regress back to the first episode.
You did say
the weakest
Miracle. You did say somebody was gonna be a Republican before the end of the year. That's all.
I don't make it. Listen.
It's gonna be Streets Asiatic in disguise.
Man, listen.
He gonna be like that man who was rapping in the Capitol building. He gonna be at the RNC convention doing raps, doing interviews. Listen, he and Candace Owens going to be debating about how bad the left is for Black people. It's okay.
Listen, when I pull up with Candace Owens, I don't want nobody to say no.
No, come on. You better take Candace Owens to the beauty shop first.
Listen, I'm gonna get her a silk press. Candace, holla at me, baby. I'm get you a silk press, right? Get you a mani-pedi. I'm gonna tell you get some Jamaican food, right? I'm gonna take you to all the spots in the hood. I'm gonna have Candace Owens on the ends like Cameron had Mariah Carey.
No, absolutely not.
So I do want to say after watching
out though, right?
After watching Trump speak on whites being discriminated.
Big T.
Oh, my bad. Big T.
No, it's Trump. It's Trump.
It's like after watching him speak about like whites being discriminated, I was thinking like it's people like him who try to draw these false parallels and paint themselves like, listen, whites, I'm gonna help you. I'm your guy. Listen, I know that you're being discriminated against. I know that what happens to black people happens to you too. I got you. I feel like that's the reason why Trump followers don't really understand racism. You know what I'm saying? Because you have niggas like Trump who have them all up in arms, like, hey, I'm being discriminated against too. I need this guy to save me. You know what I'm saying?
Is there any chance?
You said niggas like Trump. That's gonna be the title of the album right there. Niggas like Trump.
You know what? I can't do this.
Are you gonna be on? Are you gonna be in a remix, bro? You
doing the intro,
Supreme Asiatic. I did have
Killer Mike.
I did have one. I did have one last Trump question for you, Miracle, because you see the sister, I forget her name, in New York, the Attorney General. She's prosecuting the Trump organization. Apparently, they said they interviewed Eric Trump. He pleaded the fifth over 500 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there any hope that
his kids are going to be in jail and he's going to be out here campaigning, talking about look, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to use his kids going to jail to get black and brown people to vote for him.
Oh my God.
My kid's locked up too.
Damn near got Farouk gonna get him a chain. Farouk gonna get him a chain. Farouk gonna put the chain around his neck, the T chain around his neck.
It's gonna be spinning. I'm gonna get the Trump spinner.
So, I did want to talk about one more thing before we close. Another thing that happened on it's so much white supremacy.
Diss record to Joe Biden, like a legit diss record.
I mean,
why is the thing giving them?
What rappers do Joe Biden and Kamala have? They have none. Like they don't got. I mean, it's gonna be a slaughter. Like who's rapping for them? Is will.i.am still on that bandwagon?
Oh, I forgot about him. At least he can produce it. Like the beat will be fire if will.i.am do it.
But I did want to ask y'all this because one of the other things that happened on Martin Luther King Day was, another black NFL coach got fired. And so now we're there in the NFL where I want to say 60 to 65% of the players are black. Mm-hmm. We only have one black NFL coach left. Happens to be Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin.
The real big T. Yes.
Let's give Coach Tomlin his big T.
15 seasons without a losing record.
Without a losing record. I mean, definitely going to the Hall of Fame. What is there? I mean, of course, the NFL, Kaepernick still hasn't played. You know what I'm saying? The NFL just mishandled everything having to do with anything social justice related, including they had some MLK stickers on everybody's helmet. But at the time when there's still only one, like, what do y'all think? Should we be boycotting the NFL? Should we be boycotting the Super Bowl? How should we be moving in the face of these black players? I don't think is there. I don't believe there's not a black owner in the NFL as far as I know.
You got defensive coordinators. You have peripheral support. But this is my take of it that I heard in the barbershop. Right. This is what I heard in the barbershop. I don't disagree and I don't agree.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, say it.
We grew up watching the NFL and there wasn't no black coaches then. So why would we protest it now? Right. That's what the barbershop was saying. That's not Farouk. That's the barbershop. Okay?
And what was your response?
I mean, so niggas grew up. I mean, at one point in time, we grew up with slavery. We supposed to still be enslaved. Hey, my great grandmother grew up in slavery. Put me in chains, brother. I'm like, what the hell?
Point that people make.
No, I don't think it's a good point. I think that Rush Limbaugh set a precedence with saying that black quarterbacks aren't intelligent enough to make it to the professional level. He was targeting Donovan McNabb when he said that, and that gained a lot of traction in draft classes. Like for some reason, people thought Rush Limbaugh was an NFL analyst. And they were like, hey, maybe these black quarterbacks aren't intelligent enough.
It ain't that. It's just white supremacy. That's how white supremacy
it is white supremacy. But
somebody had mentioned, I don't know how deep we want to get in the weeds, but somebody had just mentioned that, you just had a white quarterback, Matt Stafford, who had played in the NFL for 12 straight years and never won a playoff game. And they were saying, like, what black quarterback will be given the leeway to be a starter for 12 straight years and not win one playoff game? The nigga just won his first playoff game in year 13. So clearly there's this divide. And the study's shown, brother, when you get into like general managers, that white general managers pick white players more often. That oftentimes if a black general manager is there, the team is going to have more black players, right?
I think that the Rooney Rule that the Steelers implemented is one of those bare minimum things. You have to interview at least one person of a global majority, right? Not
goes
higher.
right back to what Treble said, right?
Yeah.
Symbolism, nothing else,
right? Yeah, and so I mean, I honestly think that everything that the NFL has done so far, all these stickers and the you know the pledges to all these black organizations, fuck that, man. Like you act like there's like just like when people are saying that there's no workers for this job shortage right now. Niggas want jobs.
Yeah,
niggas want jobs. That's the bottom line. Like, you know, you mean to tell me you can't find any black head coaches anywhere? Tomlin was a defensive coordinator the whole time. Someone said, okay, he could run a team, and look what happened. You got 15 winning seasons. Absolutely. Elevate these coordinators, elevate these people from under these, you know, from past and beyond these peripheral roles. What's the worst that could happen? You have a coach a team that goes 0-17, 0-18. The Lions been doing it. The Browns have been doing it with white leadership.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think what it is the owners of these teams are these all white men that primarily gave to Donald Trump, right? These all white. So they're looking for somebody that looks like them to fill these roles. And just like you said, it's not that people don't want jobs, it's people want to be treated a particular way on their job. People want to be treated, people want to be paid a living wage, people want to be treated with respect. You want somebody to come and listen to your bullshit for $5-7 an hour? Like, nah, people ain't down to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but that's what it is. I mean, I think to me, but I think more so like I'm a sports fan. Like, what should we do? Do y'all have any plan for what we should do as sports fans?
I mean, y'all couldn't even stand with Cap, so I don't know. Like, let's be honest. Like, I don't know what y'all could do. I mean, when Kyrie tried to have his movement, you know, more people. First, let's be honest. More people stood with Kyrie and was outside protesting and standing with Kyrie than they were standing with Cap. So
Kyrie with masks, though, not Kyrie when he was talking that black stuff. He was being dissed. When Kyrie said no vaccine, then you had a lot of people standing with Kyrie. But when Kyrie was just talking that black stuff, it was very few and far between folks really riding with him.
So there's really nothing that people can do outside of like doing mass boycotts, because at the end of the day, people would rather be entertained than be empowered. Some people, and people feel that athletes and coaches are basically, there's too many black millionaires and there's too many black people in power. And so they're okay with having defensive linemen be black. They're okay with having certain positions in the football field be black. When it comes to the quarterback and coaches, the person you have to have your child looking up to, people have an issue when they are black. And so that is going to be a problem. But I don't know. Y'all can write to the league. You can talk to.
What about hitting up Jay-Z? Can we hit Jay-Z up?
I mean,
I mean, he told y'all like to trust the process and gave y'all this halftime performance. So I don't know what his
that is true, because I totally forgot about that. You're right, because it's, what is it? It's like Dr. Dre, it's Dre, Snoop, Kendrick,
and Mary J. Blige,
and then Eminem. They threw Eminem in, you know what I'm saying? But
which you know, what if Dre did fuck the police then?
He's not.
He's
I
not.
mean, I think like it would be like, I think like if one of those artists in that moment said, "Yo, the NFL got to get better,"
it would be Eminem.
Because he's the only person. Snoop could survive the backlash. Snoop could
be Eminem.
Snoop could survive the backlash because he's big enough.
It would be Eminem.
Yeah, it would be Eminem. Yeah, it would be Eminem.
Damn, we gotta count on the white man again.
I feel like us as viewers.
It's not a problem with you to count on white people, brother? Is that what you're saying?
I just have an issue with Eminem, but you know, I'm not gonna bring that.
What's wrong with Eminem? What?
Please not.
You don't like his rap styles?
I'm not talking about him musically. No, thank you for asking. That's not it.
But you know him in real life or something?
I don't know him personally. No.
Okay.
I know Carlos, Royce's producer, 6 July Brody.
And they don't like Eminem?
Nah, nothing with that. It's just like, for me, you know, when Eminem got upset when he got his heart broken by a black girl, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he was mad at X-Clan.
And I just, like, to be honest with you, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, as a hip hop fan, as someone who used to enjoy that style of rap, Like I looked up to M, and I remember when I heard that, like the Eminem record, it was like finding out pro wrestling was fake.
But I will say this, because, and I'll go with, I'll come back to you, Treble. But there was a video I seen. Now I don't watch the show Euphoria. Is that what it's called?
Euphoria. Yeah, I'm about to start that.
Right. I don't watch it. I know people like, but I guess it's a white guy on there, and the white dude was saying like, I'm racist. He was like, I'm a racist because I'm a white dude in this racist society. And he was like, I really got to work every day to not be racist. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm conditioned as a white person in this white society, almost on some like Alcoholics Anonymous stuff. I kind of felt that. I kind of felt the fact that he was like, yo, like, nah, like I'm misogynistic, I'm racist, and like every day I gotta fight. Is that, I don't know. I was kind of feeling that. Miracle.
Well, I mean, well, you know, when
you kind of moved your face off the screen as you making faces.
When the good Lord Jesus Christ said that the first thing people are born in this world is white supremacists, like people thought he was crazy.
When did he say that?
He said that on Drink Champs.
I don't remember.
What is wrong? Why?
Yes.
Yeah. He said everybody in this world is born a white supremacist.
Watch them. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Treble, you were gonna comment on the NFL.
Yeah.
My brother?
I was going to say what we could do as viewers, if we still want to view, is just keep having the critical conversation, you know what I'm saying, with our fellow viewers, with, you know, if we have connects to people in the NFL, starting a conversation with them. Hey, y'all, the activism that they're doing is completely performative. You see that they're not actually doing the work. What do you think about that? Don't you think they should be doing more work than just giving you stickers and saying these statements that don't have anything behind them, but some TV ratings and trying to make sure people are calm enough to keep watching? It's like, no, let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation. Let's be real about this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I plan to do.
I wonder, like, because you mentioned Kaepernick, Miracle. I wonder, is he never gonna talk? Like, I mean, at what point? I'm curious. Like, is he gonna wait till maybe like the 5-year anniversary? I'm just waiting for a podcast, something. Like, give me something, Cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he got his publishing. Shout out to him. Maybe that's a book we can get, because he just put out what was the Muslim brother Farouk that was in the NBA? That was praying.
Sharif Abdul.
I don't think his name was Sharif. Like, was it Mahmoud?
Oh, Mahmoud.
Yeah. So he just published. Kaepernick Publishing just published his memoir or biography. But I would love to
Mahmoud Abdul Sharif.
Mahmoud Abdul Sharif, right? I don't know if it's Oprah. Sit down with somebody. I would just love to hear. I'm just wondering, because Kaepernick just said, you know what, y'all ain't gonna hear my.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question though.
I love to hear
Miracle. This is for everybody, right? Does Kaepernick, does he have an obligation to speak?
Absolutely not. I mean, he did.
Because he did.
He did what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he created a movement. I mean, people was nailing all over the place. I mean, and people were protesting and using sports. He like brought that back to the game. So he doesn't have to. But also, I wanted, and I tried to find this clip. It's a black NFL reporter named Jim Trotter. One of the things I thought he said was so dope. He said, "Stop asking black coaches." It's only one, Mike Tomlin. He said, "Stop asking black coaches to speak about the lack of black coaches." He said, "Ask white owners and white general managers. Those are the people you need to ask."
When politicians are up for election, they come to black churches and black neighborhoods to talk about racism.
Exactly. Don't do that. Go to the white church.
Go to Whole Foods. Don't come to, you know what I'm saying? Don't come to like, you know, the bodega and chat about, oh yeah, well, you know, I know what's happening here. Like, you know, it's a shame they won't give you niggas good food. And then no, take that to Whole Foods, bro. Like, do that.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't go to the mosque with a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like take it to the people who practice that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually have the conversation with the people who are active racists and still need to dismantle the system within themselves,
right?
Not the people who are being affected by the shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But you know, I had asked on the show before, like if Kaepernick had like a gag order, or like maybe when part of his settlement was just like, you know,
it might have been
like that's it, I had asked that before, like you're getting this money, and I'm thinking there was closeted details about, you know, whatever he was gonna get. Maybe, you know, he gets a couple extra $100 million or something, or, you know, if he's quiet, I don't know. I don't know, but that's something I always just assumed. that with that money, it was like, yeah, you're agreeing to never go to the media.
But, maybe. I mean, and you know,
we'll find out in 20 years.
When they
that would be when he writes his memoir. So do we have our white pages, Miracle? Do you all have a?
I think it's behind you on. I think it's your friend's autobiography.
Oh, is that what we're? Is that what
I believe that's what the white pages were.
Is my friend's?
Oh, we missed the Karen of the week.
Oh,
wait, that.
Should we show the Karen of the week? I feel like we
hold on. We have a special Karen for you.
I feel like we have
listen, this Karen is so special that the power of Christ compelled them. That's how.
Are y'all really about to show? If you're about to show the video, I physically have.
Okay, so for those that our Karen of the week
of the fainted hearts.
Is unique, right?
Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer discretion is advised. And it's kind of wild that like on Dr. King Day, like it was a black pastor. So our Karen of the week is a black pastor. What's his name?
Is this the first time that a Karen has ever been a black man?
I want to say possibly, yeah. So he's our Karen and our
Terry Crews. Yeah. Karen
but
Crews.
What he did was so egregious. So what's his name? Okay, Mike Todd is the pastor's name, and Mike Todd decided that he was going to show how maybe I don't know what was this point he was trying to make Miracle like this is like in order to receive God's blessings you got to be nasty. What was the point?
Listen, last night.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, please, brother. Please mute that. That's your line. I got some blessing for you. I got some blessing for you, girl.
Yo, come on, girl. Let me bless you right quick.
No. Oh my God.
Let me give you them holy fluids.
This brother had a flashback to last night, bro. He was like, yo. You put it in your hand. Anyway, so this pastor decided that he had a special sermon delivery for his parishioners. Viewer discretion is advised. He spits on his hand and rubs it in his brother's face. So this is Pastor Mike Todd.
You might want to leave. You might
want to leave if you feel turn off. Go ahead.
Look at his face, though. Hold on. Before we press play, look at my brother's face. He knows what's coming.
He knows.
He knows, bro. He's sitting here like, why am I up here?
Look, I don't even want to know the brother's name. His brother's name is forever. His name is forever Spitface. I don't even want to know your name. You brother Spitface from now on, man. Like forever.
Yo, Mike Todd was spitting.
Look at Mike Todd's face. Mike Todd was going into his stomach. He wanted to get the real.
Yo, y'all remember that this nigga spitting meme? I need to see that from Mike Todd.
No. Big T. Mike Todd is new.
Mike Todd, man.
Mike Todd was hitting literally
his Daffy. He got his Daffy Duck on, bro.
And you don't see it clearly yet.
Clearly.
Oh no, Mike! No, Mike! Look at!
And this is
where I ain't gonna do it.
Look at this. I gotta turn him.
I ain't gonna spin this people would not face Jesus anymore.
Of course, bro. This is saliva. We're not facing
you
saliva.
You ain't Jesus, my nigga. You are Mike Todd.
Oh no! You start coughing.
My man is like, yo. Look at it. He praying right now. He praying right now.
Telling you. What I'm telling you.
Why was the video so good?
It's just as he's physically standing here.
All right, we can stop.
Knowing what's coming.
Nah, keep it playing.
God's saying, can you
we got to show the
and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand.
And you know what? I come from the South.
When getting the vision and receiving it
and bags
might get nasty.
Snakes in them. I would rather.
I'm gonna say that point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty.
No.
I
mean, I like that.
No,
it doesn't have to get nasty,
bro. You had some vision happening last night. You had some godly visions last night.
Listen, now you're gonna ask me
to
sell it back
John,
and ride in the hoopty again?
John.
I wonder, does Mike Todd have...
Oh,
no, Mike!
It might get nasty.
No, don't go. We can stop it. We can stop it now.
All right, pause, please. Oh, God. Lord, no.
No. Absolutely
not. Yo, what did Memphis Man say? Rub it on your skin like it's Lubriderm.
This is...
I thought it was rubbing on your skin like lotion.
Listen,
what's the commotion?
Leave the church. Leave it.
Oh my
Be like,
God,
goodbye.
no.
This is not for me.
And this wasn't 3 years ago. This was in a pandemic. COVID, Omarion running around, the flu, COVID, all that stuff.
Oh, no,
man.
Bro, that is so disrespectful.
Yo, that nigga better shave.
I'm just trying to figure out the steps.
He better shave.
That nigga gotta dunk his whole face in the alcohol
to submit your sermon and your lesson plan.
That's what I want to know.
Tell your church staff that you need somebody to volunteer to have spit put on them.
Yes. And then people said, like, nobody challenges. Nobody says, yo, bro, you can't do this. Like, it's a pandemic. It's COVID-19.
Loud, bro.
Nobody says
mad. You're moving mad right now, bro.
I would have grabbed my Bible, clutched my pearls, and walked out.
I'm out.
It's like I get the metaphor he was trying to portray,
hold on.
But there's so many different ways to go about that shit.
Bro, did you pre my man with the flick of the wrist? He was like, he was
turning it up.
That nigga was making eggs, bro.
He was making crack. He was making crack cocaine.
You could have had the praise and dance team do a mime song. There were so many things.
It was so much
done.
You could have done.
No,
you know what I'm saying,
spit in my face. We fighting.
No.
How last week when that man came to that church was swinging.
Yes. Oh, yes. What was it? Alonzo, whatever his name was. The pastor was like, no, Carlos, no. Yeah, no, I would have been, nah, man, no.
Bro, and then even just imagine, Jesus would get these hands if he spit on me,
bro. Nobody. But then the thing is, like, I don't know who Spitface is, but like, your viral moment is allowing a man to spit in his hand and put, like, you could never live that
for Jesus, though.
No, that wasn't Jesus. That was Mike. That nigga's name was Mike Todd. That nigga's name.
That
Jesus. So Mike Todd did come out and apologize, you know what I'm saying, and say he took it too far. No.
Mike probably has some issues that he needs to talk to a therapist about.
Yo, whatever far was, my nigga, taking it too far, my nigga, you are way like you as soon as you
that was a line. Yo, the line was gone.
Water. He could have got some spray water.
Could have got some spray water. Could have did a whole bunch of stuff. Could have got some mud. You know, the scripture talks about mud. Could have got some mud. Like even about
Jesus healing with mud. Like if you're likening yourself to Christ, right?
I mean,
blasphemy anyway.
Which is mud.
We're not even talking about that.
Okay, that's fine. Nah, man. Yeah.
I said this. Listen, I said this is the first line of the album. Is Jesus gave sight to the blind, but this is an impossible view. I couldn't picture seeing this shit right here. This nigga mixing up spit in his hand.
You gonna put a Mike Todd bar in your line in your new rhyme,
bro?
Spitting like Mike.
Imagine like he's sitting there like waiting for it, bro.
Yeah, he was waiting for it, man. No,
he must have stole from the offering.
He must have did something.
Blackmail.
When I see spit, when he see spit, he stay.
Bro, does that make Christian rappers like Mike Todd because they spitting for Jesus?
Oh my God! Because there you go. That's a bar. That's a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's crazy.
I can't.
No,
this is why
that's how we gonna leave, man. Listen, our call to action: like, don't go to churches when niggas. That's the call to action.
No, we have
our black mega church you go to,
right?
We have what your black mega church is known for.
Yes, we have our white pages, which is our brother Leon Ford. This is a book that he put this out a few years ago. This is his testimony and guide to overcoming adversity, untold by Leon Ford. You can go to Leon Ford Speaks. I believe he still has some copies of this.
Now Leon Ford spits. Leon Ford speaks.
Shout out to our brother E-May that shot the cover. You know what I'm saying? So Untold by Leon Ford. That's our white page. Shout out to our brother Leon. You know, we care about you and love you, brother. And then our call to action. Didn't you have a GoFundMe miracle or something that we were putting in there?
I believe I sent it to John.
Okay, you still
so no, I'm gonna pull it together.
Pull it together. We're almost there.
The what? Oh, so earlier today, Attorney Paul Jubis released a statement on behalf of the Peter Spencer family, calling for a plethora of things. One, that the FBI and the Attorney General's office get involved in the investigation, that information be turned over to Sal Wecht, and that information be shared with the family. As y'all may recall, Peter Spencer, he was an immigrant from Jamaica. He lived on the east side, East Liberty area. Went out on some type of a fishing, hunting trip with some of his friends. He was the only African-American person of color, Black person in the group, and got shot over 9 times. No one knows the information. No one knows why. And I believe it's, people say Vanguard. I don't know how you say the county, but the county is also known to were white supremacists, KKK, active like white supremacists. And so there is just a lot of misinformation and disinformation going around because of the lack of respect and communication with the family. Cyril Wecht, through images from the autopsy, from the my apologies, from the funeral home, was able to discount some of the public information that was put out there by the police officers. And so what the family is basically asking for is an explanation of what happened to their loved one, and for the cops to be very honest and thorough in their investigation. And so Absolutely. They do have a GoFundMe. He was buried last week. They do have a GoFundMe up, and they're still trying to get that information out. So Attorney Paul Jubis had a press conference earlier today. I met with the fiance, got to meet the mom briefly. I believe that should be airing at your 7, 10 and 11 local newscasts if you're in the local area of Pittsburgh. And so just please make sure if you can donate to the family as they're trying to gather resources to complete this independent investigation.
Absolutely. And definitely, support that. And yeah, I mean, it's been over a month. Peter Spencer was found dead on December 12th. It's January 19th. You're telling me you still don't have any answers? Right. That's far-fetched. So, shout out to that family. Definitely support them. Anything else? Oh, tomorrow, we will talk to doctors about why people shouldn't spit on you. But where we
that legit needs to be a question on Ask a Black Doctor. Like, what would you do as a medical professional?
Should your pastor be rubbing his spit in their face? But Ask a Black Doctors tomorrow. So, questions about Omicron, surge, Flu-Rona, the combination of the flu and corona. It's wild out here. So tune in to Ask a Black Doctor if you have any questions. They're there for that. Anything else going on this week?
Did Mike Todd give him the Holy Spirit? Or was it just the Holy Spit?
Holy water, maybe? I don't know.
Water. I have.
You have something going on this week?
I have 2 more serious things.
Okay.
Lucifer's lubricant.
You have some serious Miracle has serious things, Farouk. Okay.
Just got the camera frame.
Serious things, yeah.
Serious things. One, as we know, in Wilkinsburg, a few weeks ago, Amari Lee, she was 19 years old, was murdered. She was. We were fortunate. I wanted her to support the family at the wake. I had her funeral this week, but her family has not received any information from the Wilkinsburg police about what has happened. So please, reach out and to support that family. We know also as well a situation that happened today at the school ground and with a student. And so if you have if you're Pittsburgh public school teacher, our Pittsburgh public school parent, you know, our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are with you. You know, as people are really touched and grieving at this time. If you know the family, please reach out to us so we can find ways to support them, because you know we're always here for the community to support people through these tough and trying times. So that is what I wanted to say.
Absolutely. No, thanks for that. Thanks for that reminder. And definitely, you know, keeping that family in our prayers, and any support we can give as One Hood, we're definitely willing to. So with that said, we will be back next week. We hope we had 2 weeks of bodily fluid white supremacy. We're hoping that next week we're going to just keep it on the outside of our body. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fruit, don't. Please don't.
Listen.
He just trying
that sounds like white supremacy. That sounds.
I'm sorry, I was just clearing my throat, brother. Nobody's around me.
That sounded like white supremacy to me.
He just trying to show y'all his fit. Go ahead and style on him. He said the hat match.
Your fit.
I wasn't even doing that. I was
stay dry. Yes, definitely
Who
stay
said
dry.
Stay dry?
Tanisha, stay dry.
Canada dry. Canada dry.
So, with that being said, we will see y'all next week. This week in white supremacy. Y'all be safe, y'all.
Never lose sight.
Yeah.
Stop spitting in people's faces.
Never like spit.
Hoodies.
Never like spit
on my
bro.
face. Yeah, never. No, we not with that.
He said no lube, spit.
Oh.
Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and to wipe their mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even